Hey, just a random junk video. Not really random, but plenty of junk. Um, the first thing I like to just, Tommy from the Bronx is decided to start critiquing my news segments, I guess, and that's only fair. So I made a comment in the last Good News, the news where I'm wearing a tie cut out of paper. That apparently I have to account for the joke I made, and I made a joke because there was a 15-year-old girl sitting on Santa's lap, and it's kind of funny. 15-year-old girl, you're saying, what is a 15-year-old girl asking Santa for? Like send her boyfriend a book on how to do anal sex better. I mean, I don't, it's just kind of funny. And I made some comment, blah blah blah. I support the statutory rape laws. People shouldn't be playing sex games with 15-year-olds. But there's undeniable fact that the average male wouldn't mind being paid to have 15-year-old girls sit on his lap all day. It's just a fact. I'm not saying anything nasty should be going on. I'm just saying the average male wouldn't find that a hard day's work. Well, I shouldn't say hard. They wouldn't find that difficult. So anyway, just a joke, and it's not torture. You see, there's a little difference between, I don't know, subtle little sex joke and torture. See, very different jokes. Torture isn't really a funny subject. Sex, well, that can be kind of a funny subject. And Santa Claus is always funny. So whatever. I apologize to anybody who was offended or had the misunderstanding that I was somehow promoting any kind of inappropriate behavior between adult males and 15-year-old girls. No inappropriate behavior advocated. Okay, so on to the anarchy. That's I know it's not a random subject, but I figure that's what it's going to end up talking about here. All the happy losers. She made another video vaguely connected to the subject of the anarchy thing and organization, and it's this whole. It's really irritating that people can understand science and they can understand civilization. The advantages of having a brain and being able to use it and apply it, and they think systems like the organization of how humans live we shouldn't apply any of those rules. We should just let chaos rule. And it's really irritating that Bella has any kind of she's like, yeah, okay, maybe anarchy could work. I mean, all you gotta do is give me 2 or 3 explanations and I'll go, oh, I'm all for it. And just the whole human nature thing. I mean, she concedes we're selfish, and yet she concedes but we won't need any rules or regulations about that. We won't need to discipline ourselves in any practical way. I mean, here's an analogy. I mean, it happens with when the anthropologists study monkeys and such. They put a pile of bananas out, and let's say all the monkeys go running for the bananas. And the monkeys aren't thinking about how much they're going to eat now. They're thinking about, hey, there's a pile of bananas here. I'm going to take as many as I can carry. And there's only enough bananas to feed, at that rate, 10% of the population. But if you gave each monkey just 2 bananas, then everybody gets to eat, everybody's happy. But what inevitably happens is, the first monkeys to the pile take a dozen bananas, and then the last 40 monkeys to the pile get no bananas. And that's just human nature. Human beings are going to do that. Human beings are always going to try to cover their own ass first. And in doing that, they're going to create a lot of waste. And it's just stupid to think that you can organize a social structure based on that. That's it. Human nature. We're just going to let human nature run wild. It's idiotic, stupid, preposterous, nonsense. And it suggests, the good news is Luke is giving up, on arguing the anarchy. At least he's frustrated beyond his capacity to continue for now. And that's a good thing, because it's a horrible waste of human passion. I mean, what a waste of the guy is obviously intelligent, he's articulate, I think he's crazy, but there's hope that can be fixed. But what a waste. What a waste of all this passion devoted to an idea that is completely preposterous. You know, go waste, if you're an advocate of anarchy, go waste 40 minutes, and I'll post the link over there to the last StephBot video. It's a, you know, you want the definition of a cult? Here it is. He takes 40 minutes to say something very simple. Yeah, to support the free association principle, you should freely unassociate yourself from anybody in your life who believes you should pay taxes. That's it. Yeah, it's the definition of it's exactly how cults work. Yeah, cut yourself off from your family, cut yourself off from anybody else who's a human being. Just you know, and immerse yourself in the cult. I mean, it's idiotic, it's preposterous. You know, extorting people, basically, and saying, "Oh yeah, well, if you don't support my right not to pay taxes, you know, fuck you." What is that? That's fine. I mean, I guess, you know, the bottom line is yeah, you either believe in civilization or you don't. And so, yeah, if you're an uncivilized bastard, maybe you should disassociate yourself from civilized mankind. But that's his plan. That's his plan for how he makes this fucking anarchy bullshit work for a planet covered with 6 billion people. Is that everybody just starts disassociating. Yeah, so I guess he would advocate, too, that you don't pay your taxes or something. I don't know how far he takes that disassociation, that rebellion, you know, but it's just idiotic. The argument has to be made, Steph and Bella and Luke. You have to win the fucking argument. And you can't win the argument if you have no explanation for how any of this bullshit would work. I mean, functionally, it just has no fucking hope of working. I mean, you end up with, you know, schools next to, you know, lead factories and shit. I mean, it's totally impractical. And once you create some organization, once you create some government, it's inevitably going to grow. There's just no way to avoid that. Because there's going to be problems, and there's going to be people are going to want the problems fixed. They're going to want efficient answers. They're not going to want 17,000 phone lines coming into their house. They're going to want reliable and efficient infrastructure. And it's just stupid for you to think that everybody's going to want to, you know, push apple carts, or, I mean, go back to, you know, 1492 or something. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, everybody, that's how Ethiopia is being turned into a desert, you know. It's because everybody just says, well, I got to have firewood, so I'm going to cut down some trees. I need this, I'm going to do that. I want that, I'm going to take this. And it can't work. It just cannot fucking work. I can't believe we have to keep having this argument. I mean, it's just so disappointing that there's so many people that have all this passion and it's completely undirected. And then on the subject of organization, I've made the point before, but there's nothing evil about organization. I mean, you know, the golden rule is in the fucking Bible. Doesn't mean, you know, because the fucking statement is in this book of shit, doesn't mean that the statement is shit. And the fact that religions are organized doesn't mean that any atheists who organize are going to be fucking religion. It's a stupid presumption. It's so self-defeating. I mean, the fact is that atheists are, you know, it's cigarette smokers. You can go down the list of these people who have, you know, tremendous numbers in the millions, and they have no voice. They have no political voice because they can't do anything to organize. They can't they can't do anything in a constructive and organized manner. And it's just so self-defeating. It's so self-destructive. And, you know, there's nothing... It's not a gulag. An organization is not something saying, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that and all this other crap. No, all you have to do is say yes. And if something bothers you, you just say no. You just walk away. What's the big fucking deal? You're not chained to this goddamn thing. No one's obligating you to do a goddamn motherfucking thing. And to argue against it as some sort of principle, like, goddamn, we offend our individuality because we dare, you know, to claim affiliation with anything. It's just stupid. So anyway, I guess that's all I really need to rant on about it. Like I said, we've been over it and over it, and I guess there's no point in arguing it because people just aren't getting it. But nothing's going to change if we all just rant and talk about bullshit. If that's all we're going to do, then yeah, I might as well get the fuck off YouTube. If, you know, the majority of people just aren't going to sit there and ever do anything. I mean, the whole point is we're trying to motivate people to do something, and yeah, I find your videos annoying because it's a step backwards. It just undoes the work. It just undoes the work of getting people to give a damn, because some asshole is going to say, oh yeah, we can't give a damn because that means we're all going to be in lockstep and goose-stepping and all this other bullshit. I mean, fuck that. I'll throw it in here. You know, somebody mentioned, you know, Tommy, there are always people saying that subscriptions are not an endorsement when you subscribe to something. Of course it's a fucking endorsement. It's how the Amazing Atheist and Captain Awesome get all their videos viewed, is because they have a ton of subscriptions. That's how it works, you fuckers. So it is an endorsement. It shouldn't be. There should be a way to subscribe without endorsing. That should be part of the system, but you can't deny it's a fucking endorsement.